Welcome to the Performance Enhancing Podcast. It's like steroids for your brain. A podcast for people that want the best info, but just don't have the time. Get your podcast fix with the Cliff Notes versions of your favorite podcasts. No fluff, just the actionable golden nuggets. Having this much knowledge at your fingertips should be downright illegal. So get ready for another dose of Performance Enhancing Podcast with Satori Prime. Here's your host, Ilan Ferdman.
Hello everyone. Ilan Ferdman here from Satori Prime. Welcome to another Performance Enhancing Podcast. This is part 2 of our Facebook powwow with Jason Hornig and my brother Guy, where we just talked about everything working and not working with Facebook, the mistakes people make, how they can correct them, etc. So, if you haven't listened to part 1, I highly recommend you do, because if marketing on Facebook is of any interest to you, then picking the brains of people that have spent more than $2 million on it is probably a pretty smart move. So head over and listen to that part. Now in part 2, I come out swinging. I ask a question of Jason and Guy of the biggest tip that they share with their clients, guys that pay us multiple thousands of dollars. What's the biggest tip that we provide them that actually makes their eyes roll to the back of their head with excitement and just disbelief on how this can change their business? So without further ado, here's part 2 of Performance Enhancing Podcast number 39 with Jason, myself, and my brother Guy. Enjoy. So let me ask you guys each a question, because I'm sure we're all approached by clients, we all have students, etc., etc. Jason, what's the biggest tip that you see? Like when you say to someone, their eyes literally like, holy shit, how did I not see that?
Good question. That's a good question. That is a really good question. I think one of them that really blows a lot of people away is this little duplicating a campaign trick that I learned. So basically, for whatever reason, you've got an audience base that you're targeting with your ads. Let's just say it's like 5 million people for whatever. You put up one campaign to that audience base, and you'll get a certain result from Facebook. Now, what you can actually do is you can duplicate that campaign. So all things are equal, right? You've got the same targeting, same ads, same everything. You'll get a completely different result in every single one of those campaigns. And I haven't been able to figure out exactly why it is. My theory behind it is that it's simply the segment of the market that is seeing that ad at any given time. But what you can do, and this is a little trick that people can use to really accelerate their results. So when you're starting off a campaign and you're trying to test out interests, you do want to get your cost per click as low as possible, and that's all driven by the CTR. And so what you can do is you can actually have like 5 to 10 of the same exact campaigns with just a really small budget. Just put them at $5, run it for a day, but you put it on mobile and desktop newsfeed, and then you'll find one that just clearly outperforms all the others. So I did this yesterday, for example, and I had the CTR ranged anywhere from 0.3, which really sucks, all the way up to like 5.6% on the same ad with the same targeting. And that 5.6% CTR campaign will just crush it. I mean, we'll get clicks for like 10, 15 cents in that. So all I did was just shut down the other campaigns, and then you dial up the budget on that one campaign, because Facebook actually sets the rate that you're going to pay off of how the CTR performs in like the first 1,000 displays the ad gets. So basically what you do is you kind of lock in that CTR and the price that you pay. So it's a little trick that helps you get cheaper clicks. And then what we do is we back off the mobile placement unless the offer converts really well on mobile, and we know that already, so that we're just running on desktop because that's a little bit higher conversion. And so it's just like this little trick that you can do to get lower costs on the desktop. And when you show people that, it always blows their mind.
That's amazing. And the cool part is, what he was talking about is like, say you did 10 campaigns at $5 each, right? Based on that information, within a day, you're going to have enough knowledge to say, instead of 5 across 10, I'm going to do all 50 to the one with the lowest cost for me and the best results. So now just by one little tip that Jason just gave you, you're able to now take, instead of, diversifying and trying to figure shit out, you can now spend all your budget for that day on the ad that you already know is a win. Like, that's massive. Awesome.
You'll make up the money you spent on those other campaigns on the lower costs easily, because in the example I gave, the 0.3% click-through rate one, Facebook was telling me I should be paying like $1 something a click, and they won't show my ads unless I bid $1 something a click, and so then I'll end up paying a little bit less than that. But yeah, the 5.6% one, 23 cents a click is what they're telling me to pay. Amazing. So you bid 23 cents a click, you end up paying like 17, 18 cents. You got high quality, cheap traffic for days.
Exactly. Brilliant. Bro, what would you say is like the one tip that we tell people that just blows their mind?
I guess it depends on where they are in their journey. I again, just to not be redundant here, it's so simple, but I would always say when you let people know about tracking, it is just a huge eye opener for people, and I totally get it. I mean, I remember doing the same thing. It's just like people have this impression like trial and error, because that's how we learn in school, right? Like, to figure out the math problem, if you really don't know what you're doing, you would have this whole like trial and error thing you would do, and you kind of like figure it out. So they throw shit at the wall. They really don't understand how blind they really are flying. And when you show them how easy it is to really do that, and how to start reading reports in the back office so you can make these decisions that literally will change your campaign from black to white overnight by just making small little changes to it based on what you're seeing, I would say that's the biggest thing. Right now, I guess Elon and I we're very non-conformist in just the way that we do things in general. I don't want to say we're gray or black hat people. We don't like to play in that area, but we do like to push the envelope. So I'm always looking for loopholes, right, in Facebook. And I will tell you that sometimes I feel personally responsible for some of the algorithm changes, because I know that we're exploiting things inside of Facebook. Like, I remember when, so I'm always looking for how to exploit what Facebook's rules in a way that's still within their guidelines. But it's funny, at least 2 of our products were based on complete exploitation of like small loopholes that Facebook left open, and we were making just a lot of money doing that, right? But right now, one of the things I'm looking to exploit is how to beat the 20% text in an ad, because the newsfeed ads are so good. But I'm seeing that there are ways to exploit it. So there's little tricks like that. I mean, like, one of the things that I found with text ads, there's the whole 20% rule. But if the part of the text in the ad looks like it's, like when you get a picture box of the product, like if you have like a virtual picture box, if you put that and there's text in there, the 20% doesn't apply to something like that. It really only applies to like plain text. So you can actually have your headline and treat your newsfeed ad like a headline, and then in the box or in something that's, congruent like that, where it's more logo-ish, you can actually completely defeat that 20%, and then it doesn't happen at all. And I know for a fact that that'll get your click-through up, because when engagement posts first came out and they didn't have that rule, I think Elon and I were definitely one of the first on Facebook to play with that. Again, because we're there every day, we saw the change. We're like, let's test it. And we were literally taking pictures and treating them like landing pages. Remember that?
Yep.
And we're getting like massive results. So I know I really didn't answer the question there, but again, it just amazes me how many people are not doing the basic things that would give them the advantage on Facebook. I look at it like playing the stock market a little bit. I feel like we're always watching the ticker, except that we have a lot more control about the outcome.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Same thing. Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you one of the things that we've shared with people, and we get emails all the time, like a very basic, this is a free marketing strategy, but a lot of people put up posts, and they're very good about putting up posts regularly, but they don't have any call to action in their post. So they'll just like write something or put up a picture or whatever. And the simplest change that we've told people to do is take a link that leads them into some sort of call to action, whether it's your landing page, your funnel, your offer, whatever it is, and just drop that link in every single picture, in every single post on the bottom, because people on Facebook are click happy. And literally just the other day, one of the guys that joined our mastermind, We showed him this little trick. He had 374 leads for free to his local kung fu business in 6 days. 374 leads. He was like, I cannot believe what just happened. Because he's posting anyway, and he's posting great content, but I was like, you're not taking people anywhere.
Yeah.
So I think that is just like the best free strategy that we've shared with people, and like every single person gets amazing results.
I also want to give I'm sorry, Jason. I also want to give a small insight here about what's going on here. Sorry, guys, having some tech issues. One of the things like engagement, right? What I've noticed is, for me, if I had to guess where engagement really is, people use 15, 16%. I'm like, you are overshooting that big time. I think it's like 1%, maybe 2% right now. It was 15 to 16 before December, which was already low from what it used to be. Today, it's like 1% if we're lucky. I mean, we have a bodybuilding page. It's over 200,000 people. If I have talking about at over 2,000 people, that's like an amazing day. Like, it never goes above that 1%. Same thing with our fan page. We have almost 120,000 people. I barely ever see talking about over 200. My personal inclination is that shit doesn't matter at all. Because if you're really looking, again, what's important to you is return on investment, right? I do think it was a dick move on Facebook's behalf for the last 3 years to be like, buy likes, grow these fan pages. You'll have access to all of these people. And then they're like, by the way, we're shutting down that faucet. Thanks for spending tens of thousands of dollars with us to grow your fan pages. Now, fuck you. So on one hand, that's fine. It sucks that they did that. It probably put a lot of people out of business. People get a bad taste in their mouth, and then they want to blame something, and they leave, and they'll say, I'm never going to come back. Like, when people break up with, a counterpart, and they're like, I'll never talk to you again, instead of being an adult about it, we stick around and, have less competition and keep figuring it out, which is what good marketers probably do. But what I noticed is that I think that engagement number that they use is nothing more than a parlor trick, because you want to see engagement up on your pages, and it makes you a little bit frantic when you don't see it. So your reaction to it, and this is probably what they tested, is that the lower they make the engagement, the more money people spend, obviously, right? It's like directly correlated. So if the first thing you see when you get to your page is low engagement, what's the first thing you're going to go do? You're going to be like, oh, fuck, I need to get engagement up. You're going to spend more money with Facebook. But it's a parlor trick, because that shit doesn't help you anyway. But what they've done is they've made all their ads look like it's supposed to be in the newsfeed, like it's part of the conversation. So as before, even now, like, we don't do post engagement ads at all, because if someone's going to click on a post engagement ad and the pretty little picture pops up and yay, they look at it, most people don't click through on the description. Maybe like 10, 15% are going to click through. So you're still paying for that click, but no one's seeing the fucking offer. So these days, I'm all like, if I can get people direct to offer, always my preference. In any type of marketing that I do, that's just my preference, right? Because more eyeballs means more chances to get sales. Back in the day, using page post engagement, we were able to send 6,000 to 7,000 clicks to an offer like that, spending very little money, because making things go viral on Facebook was easy. That is just no longer available. And and I don't give a shit what offer you have. If you're sending 6,000 to 7,000 clicks to it, you're gonna get a sale. So as long as that's there. So yeah, I would just say to people, stop obsessing over the wrong numbers. I think we hit CTR was really important. Stop obsessing over your engagement. Overall, it's really come back down to fundamental marketing statistics on Facebook again, and they're getting really good at getting ads in a way that is making it a lot more traditional style of online marketing, I should say. And right now, for me, in my right-hand side, they were doing the testing of the new type of ads that are about to come out on the right-hand side. You know about those? They're like much, much larger. So for months, I've been seeing these like much larger ones. Now it's back to the traditional ones. But starting either the end of this week or sometime next week, they're globally launching that. So where right side ads for us for years have actually been really ineffective. They take a lot of campaign management because the CTR spike and then drops really fast with those kind of ads. Now they're going to be like amazing CTRs on these right hand ads also. So I'm really excited about it. And they're only showing one ad at a time over there. So you're not competing against other ads.
Nice.
It's going to be really big.
All right, so let me ask you kind of a wrap-up question, and then we'll share our big news with everyone. Jason, what do you think is the biggest mistake you see Facebook marketers make?
It not having an offer that converts.
Simple, effective.
No, it's true, because Guy talked about it quite a bit. I mean, people they get attached to the offer, and then they'll just keep sending traffic to it, thinking, hey, hoping it converts. But you have to be able to test the offer really quickly, because that's the key. The offer is either going to convert or it doesn't. And then once you got a good one that converts, then it's just finding the right metrics and the right combination of stuff in your ad to get enough people over to the offer in a cost-effective manner, so that you're making profit there. And then you just scale it up from there and spend as much money as you can. So that was a mistake I made a lot too. Like,
would you say that being in masterminds, you actually are gifted some good offers to actually work with?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You meet the right people, and then you just say, hey, what, like, for example, when I was at that mastermind the last 3 days, I met a guy that runs a CPA network, and they know what offers convert. So all you gotta do is say, hey, I want an offer that converts in this market, and then they give it to you. You don't have to go out and search ClickBank for the gravity of this and blah, 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 and do all that stuff. No, that doesn't work. You're going to spend a ton of money just testing offers there. So you want to try to get an offer that and somebody knows already converts, and then do your testing with your ad creative to get people over there effectively.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I want to leave people with here is like, look, there's two schools of thought. One is go out and buy the info products. I mean, Guy and I did this, so I'm speaking from experience. We still do it, but for a different reason. But we bought all these different info products. And you know what? Yes, we learned. And yes, we mastered stuff. And yes, we got good. But you get what you pay for at the end of the day. Like, if you're going to buy a $250 product, you're going to get $250 worth. If you're going to go into a $15,000 mastermind, you're getting $100,000 worth. Like, the people you meet, the offers you get, it will shorten your learning curve. It will put you in touch with the right people who you can then help do work for. They'll help you. It'll give you the offers. So instead of testing a ClickBank offer for $2,000-$3,000, you can just get an offer that you can immediately spend $2,000-$3,000 on and make money with. There's a lot of added benefits that people just don't understand, but it's like anything in life. You get what you pay for. So you, as a listener right now, if you know that Facebook is something you want to master, and we'll talk about this in just a second, the decision you need to make, or the choice you have, is really, am I going to go at this alone, or am I going to partner up and get mentored by someone who's already done this and plug myself in? Because the people that decide the latter tend to have much faster growth. And the ones that do it eventually end up joining the masterminds anyway, but they've already spent $5,000, $10,000 on their own trying to figure it out, and was like, oh crap, I can't do it. So we'll get back to that in a minute. But Guy, I want to give you an opportunity to answer the same question. What do you see is the biggest mistake Facebook marketers are making today?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely agree with Jason. I would just say not having mentor, right? Like, everything we've shared with you guys, the reason we know the pitfalls is because it's not because we've avoided them. It's because we've made them. We've made all these fucking mistakes. The reason we are able to sell products today is because we're basically like the people who are showing you, like, these are the mistakes people make. You want to get to where I am, where I've gotten to in 3 years, in the next 6 months, you can do that. But here's the kind of commitment that it takes, right? So as far as the biggest mistake, I would say the same thing. It's like when something is not converting, is just the keep throwing money at it. You're just digging that hole deeper and deeper, and not understanding that the lone dog approach, as good as that feels, the like beat my chest approach, like look what I did, is great, but it slows down your progress tremendously for the exact reason Jason just said, because you're now responsible for finding the offers that convert versus just giving them and then optimizing offers that convert because people have already done it. So new marketers always want to reinvent the wheel. They want to be like the guy who comes up with the next invention. And it's just fun when you do. But most of the time, it's a lot like the caveman who figured out that you can cook food. It probably just fell into the fire one day. They pulled it out and chewed on it. They're like, that's not bad. And I can tell you every breakthrough that we've ever had that's challenged a little bit, like what the industry is doing, was one of those inventions. Like, it didn't come because we were sitting around scratching our heads, having the right information. We were just doing something. And then because of pattern recognition, something that became wildly obvious that wasn't obvious before, and suddenly it was just like new, right? And then you push the industry a little bit. And that's what a lot of people are doing. They're pushing the industry by doing little innovations at a time. It just seems big by the time it comes out. Yeah. So that's kind of my parting word.
Hey, I want to tell a story real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So when I first started marketing online, I almost went bankrupt my first year doing the lone wolf approach. I figured some stuff out during that time, but it took literally about $70,000 of my own money.
Wow.
Just to figure a few things out. I figured out some SEO stuff and I figured out some email stuff, and that allowed me to get some clients, which then I was able to kind of recoup my investment. But when I started off saying, hey, I just learned Facebook about a year ago, I was still struggling at that time. I mean, I was making about $4,000 a month going into when I invested in a $15,000 mastermind to learn Facebook. And it was really difficult for me to make the decision. I struggled over it a long time because I had to put it on a credit card. And I had to max out my last credit card that I still had to do it. But it felt like it was the right thing. And that's returned an insane amount of money to me. It's the only thing that has returned the most amount of money to me. Way more than the $70,000 I spent trying to learn stuff on my own.
Yep.
And it's scary because you don't know if you're going to get your money's back. Are you going to get your money's worth? Are you going to make a return? And so it's easier to take the approach of, hey, I'm going to learn this on my own because I can spend this here, spend that there. But if you really go that route to get successful, it will take you longer and it will take you a lot more money to make all the mistakes on your own, because you will make those mistakes and you can shortcut all that with having a mastermind.
Absolutely. I ask this question of people that I consult all the time, and I say, how much money are you spending on Facebook right now on advertising? And they'll say, $300, $500, $1,000, whatever. And then I stopped asking that question because I realized the question I'm basically asking those people is, how much money are you flushing down the toilet every single month? Is kind of the question I'm asking them. But when you start to market, when you start to track the way we do, we know when we put $1,000 out to the penny almost how much we're going to get. Like, we know it's going to this offer is going to return us 37% ROI. This one 122% ROI. Like, we're not gambling with our money. And so if you knew that, then putting out $1,000 a day is no longer scary. I mean, you will try to put as much as you possibly can a day because you know the kind of return. And that, I think, is the difference between being a professional marketer and being someone who's like trying it out and just being a hobbyist and like, oh, I'm just going to test it for $300 a month or something like that. And the last analogy I just want to give you guys, and this kind of sinks in for people between info products and masterminds. I've used this a lot and people seem to really get it, is like, I've taken cooking classes, and there's really two types of cooking classes. There's a chef that basically comes in and they'll say like, okay, I'm going to show you how to make a chicken dish, a risotto with mushrooms and truffle and some lobster bisque soup or something like that, right? So you learn this, you make amazing food, you invite all your friends over, they eat all this food, everyone goes ooh and ah, and then you want to invite them back and you don't know what to do other than those three dishes. And I feel like info products, for the majority, because Facebook and marketing in general is so dynamic, and like both guys said, if you're not doing it every day, things change so fast. The things that you learned a month ago are probably no longer relevant anymore. And so you have a choice. Like, you can either keep buying a dish at a time, which, like Jason said, he spent $70,000 trying to buy dish after dish. But again, ultimately, the same thing happens. You're on that same cycle. Like, that thing will run out. It's and by the time, guys, there's something else that I want to throw in here. Most products that you buy, people have been doing that strategy for like 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. Like, now it's driving me nuts. Like, all these Facebook products about Teespring. I'm like, are you kidding me? Facebook just like banned Teespring. So now all these morons who made millions for the last 12 months are putting products together on a strategy that's not going to work. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, the other chef is a guy that will say, okay, today I'm going to teach you how to broil. And he doesn't say, I'm going to teach you how to make this dish. Just broil. And you know what? Like, if you know broiling, then you can broil steak, chicken, fish, vegetables, all sorts of meat, right? Then you have a skill, like something that you can take with you that you've mastered. And I think that's the difference. Like, if you go into a mastermind, then you learn a fundamental competency in whatever it is. It's the difference between buying like a, guitar lesson on a DVD and having a guy come to your house and like work with you on it. It's monumentally different. So I think wherever you are in your business, it's a choice you need to make for yourself about how serious you are about your Facebook marketing. And if you are, and you're looking to make, 6 figures by the end of this year, or, $5,000 a month, or whatever your goal is, you got to look at what you're doing. And if what you're doing is producing certain results, then I guarantee you doing more, better, different of that is just going to produce more, better, different versions of those results. It's not going to give you the breakthrough you're looking for. So with that, I want to wrap this up. And I want to give you an opportunity. So I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. We, like I told you, have started working together. Jason, myself, and my brother are actually hosting a mastermind for Facebook marketers at different levels. So whether you're a beginner and you're intimidated and you just want to get this figured out once and for all, we have a solution for that. Whether you're a seasoned, advanced marketer and you're really looking to scale, we have a solution for that. So at the end of this, what we'll do is I'll give you links to find out all about Jason, and we'll give them all the links for that. And we'll leave you links to get free consultations with us around your Facebook marketing and around your business. And what we're looking for is people that are serious about learning Facebook marketing and that are really determined that in the next 90 days, this is something they want to do and master so that they can market anything to anyone, anywhere in the world. Jason, anything you want to add to that?
No, man, you summed it up really great. Excuse me. So, yeah, I mean, the key is, and maybe I'll let this cat out of the bag. Maybe it'll make it even more enticing to people. Is because we've been throwing around some pretty big ass numbers on costs of masterminds, and when people get in and they have the free session with us, and we can find out if it's a good fit for them or not. They'll be pleasantly surprised at how inexpensive it is to get in on our inner circle. Yeah. Because that's really what we're doing, is we're letting people into our world and letting people see the kind of levels that we're playing at and get the knowledge that we've already experienced at a lot less than what it's cost each of us to attain that knowledge.
Absolutely. I think that's a really good point. Yeah, we're talking fractions of the big ass numbers we were throwing around today, but for the same value. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to be with 3 guys who've spent multiple 6, 7 figures investing and learning. And if that sounds interesting to you, then definitely head over to satoriprime.com/podcasts and click this specific episode, and there'll be a resource guide with everything you need to get in touch with us and book in these consultations. Whether you want to book them with me, with Guy, or with Jason, we will leave you all of that information. Bro, anything else you want to add?
No, I was going to say also, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, if you didn't catch on our page, or you got, this shared to you for whatever reason, in the description box, why don't we put a link direct to, finding out more about this as well. Yeah, guys, I mean, like we said, I think you can learn probably more from mistakes than you ever will from successes. Again, Jason is calling it masterminds. It's true, but it's just a different form of mentorship, a different form of exchange of information. Put yourself in an environment that will most easily lead to success. And there's no success formula, but if there was one, really big parts of it are being around like-minded people, exchanging information, and having people who hold you accountable so that when you do hit the wall, you have people saying behind you, pushing you to get over it, because on your own, it takes a long time to figure out how to get over that wall. So again, yeah, like we said, what we've learned for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars, as you guys have heard here, we're offering you guys a glimpse into how people like that think on a day-to-day, how people like that operate on a day-to-day, how we look at the world through this lens for really absolutely pennies on the dollar here. So, this is a great opportunity for a lot of you guys who know that this is what you want, know this is the type of lifestyle that you want. And we didn't even talk about lifestyle and what this actually affords and opens up to us and how much we love what we're doing and stuff like that. So if you feel our passion and something is attracting you to these three guys and wanting to be around them, I would say you're a perfect fit for us. And if this completely turned you off, then fuck it.
Then you're not a perfect fit for us.
I'm sorry. There's a lot of other people I guess you can learn from. But yeah, we're looking for a lot of good people who want to come, and we're looking to empower you and help you create the life that you desire.
Yeah. And I just want to leave it with this, to Guy's point, not like that he was trying to be a dick or anything like that, but truly, like, if you didn't vibe with us, it doesn't matter. The takeaway is still the same. Whatever you want to master, whether it's Facebook, whether it's sales, I don't care what it is. The fundamentals are still the same. You can go out and be the lone wolf, or you can join a mastermind and get the success you actually want. The bottom line is invest in yourself, and it will all come back to you. So with that, I want to wrap up this performance enhancing podcast, and I want to give you guys, we'll give you all the links and everything, but I want to give you an offer to head over to iTunes, leave a rating and a comment about this specific episode. And if you have any follow-up questions, I'll be answering them all personally and let you know how to get in touch with us or any resources or anything like that you might need. So just head over to iTunes and leave a rating on the podcast, and I will contact you there. All right, everyone, have an amazing, amazing day, and we'll see you on the next Performance Enhancing Podcast. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for joining us on this week's Performance Enhancing Podcast. We've taken this pep talk and created a custom action guide so you know exactly what action steps to take now to grow your business. Just head over to satoriprime.com/podcast and download it for free. Also, please leave a comment and rate this podcast on iTunes. It'll help us get the word out. Thanks for listening. Now, go and implement. We'll see you next time.